my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back to a brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your stop for your Power Rangers and Super Sentai review and news right here on our YouTube page, A-Plus Opinions. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it is I, your Morphinominal host, and we are back. And we are back with a very, very special treat for you guys. Listen, this has been weeks in the making for myself. I decided to go ahead and try and collaborate, reach out to some people, take my shot, and I finally went ahead and got us a fantastic interview with Liana Ramirez, most notably known for her time on Power Rangers Beast Morphers as Roxy, the evil Yellow Ranger, guys. So without any further ado, A-Plus Morphinominal presents Liana Ramirez. Enjoy, guys. Awesome. Well, first and foremost, Liana, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day to come and join us today. We really do appreciate it.
I'm really excited to be here, so you're welcome. I've been pumped out here, so yay!
It's been a few years since I've actually had the opportunity to interview a Power Ranger. I think the last person I actually interviewed was Austin St. John, maybe about like 4 years ago. So it's been a while. So
okay.
Yeah, so you've made my interview list.
Awesome! That makes me so excited. That's so cool.
Well, let me I do want to start off kind of learning a little bit more about you, Liana. So something that I do know is that you actually did get into acting at a very young age, around 11 years old or so. What really inspired you, especially at such a young age, to want to get into acting in the first place?
Yeah, sure. So it kind of, like you said, started whenever I was 11 years old, and I I just kind of started watching a lot of Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, and a bunch of the stars that were on at the time were Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, Victoria Justice, Ariana Grande even, and I loved them. I thought they were having so much fun, and I'm like, I want to have that kind of fun. I want to have the fun that they're having. And that's like acting, right? So my little brain was like, oh, if I act, if I'm on a show, then I might have that kind of much fun. So I simply wanted to have what they were having, and that was just fun. And so I started begging my parents, like, guys, I want to be on like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon for like 2 solid years. And they thought it was gonna just be a phase, like, oh, she wants to be an actor. Okay,
yeah, she'll get over it, kind of thing.
Just get over it, you know, she'll go into soccer or something like that. And it never stopped. And so they're like, okay, fine, we're gonna test the waters. And so my mom, she found an audition in LA, was like, okay, let's fly out to LA, audition, see if this is something you really want to do. And we did, and I ended up booking my first audition ever. So they were like, okay, kid, you got something. So all right, we believe you now.
Now, besides acting, what else do you do? Like I do believe that you are a choreographer. You dance at least, correct?
I did do dancing kind of more on like in my past. I started as, like, a lot of people actually don't know that my career started with dancing. I started as a professional dancer, and that's something that hasn't completely gone away. I just haven't trained that in a while. I kind of moved more into martial arts and stunts as of right now. But yeah, I do that. I of course do the stunts and the martial arts, writing. I basically do everything that I can get my hands on that I enjoy, and that's business oriented for film. So yeah, I do everything I can.
Now, were you training for that even before you wind up auditioning for Power Rangers?
Yes, I have been doing stunts and martial arts for 5 years.
Oh wow, okay, very nice. Because I do see on your Instagram every now and then you'll post. I know you're currently studying some archery, correct?
Yes, I am. Absolutely love it. It's so much fun.
And I have also seen you do some wire work as well. Is that stuff that you've been? Did you do that before as well?
Yeah, I've done wire work before. That's a big part of stunts. And I've trained wire work, not as much as I would like. It's something that whenever usually you're on set, you get to just do, if the stunt professionals trust you. And so I've done that a few times, and now I'm starting to train it more because I've started training with an actual stunt team in Los Angeles. And so it's been so much fun doing that, because my little brother, actually, Jensen, he's part of the stunt team. So that's how I kind of got introduced. And yeah, and training with them has been the best thing ever. I love it. It's like makes me so giddy inside. I love it so much.
It makes me jealous just watching like all the fun that you're having on some of these videos. Like I literally went and Google searched, like I was like, well, where can I learn all the stuff around Dallas?
I mean, if you find a place, let me know, because I'm from Texas and I would love to know that kind of stuff too. Because some of my friends are like, hey, like I like what you guys are doing, so can you let me know? So hey, let me know.
Yeah, and that's right, because you're an Austin girl, right?
Yeah, I am. That's where I'm from.
How when was the last time you've been back home since you've been in California?
Well, we visit about 2 years, every like twice. Wow, hold up. We visit twice a year, one in the summertime and one at Christmas. And
Oh, very nice.
in we were there in June of this year, like the whole month of June.
Okay.
So
So
that
you
was
you beat the massive heat wave that we're currently experiencing out here. It's so bad.
yeah, but at the same time, it was pretty miserable when I was there.
I feel you. I
We
feel you.
spent like 2 weeks. One of my friends was shooting a film, and so I was helping out behind the scenes. Oh my god! And we were filming on a ranch for 2 weeks, and it was really hot, but it was
Yeah,
great.
Texas heat is no joke, man. It's no joke.
Listen,
Uh,
oh man.
So I do want to get into a little bit of Power Ranger talk with you, Liana. I do want to ask you some questions. Now, what was your relationship like with the Power Ranger franchise before actually auditioning? Did you watch it as a kid? Did you grow up during it or what?
I actually never really watched it as a kid. Of course, I saw a few episodes here and there. It's kind of hard to miss, but I just wasn't really into it. And then the next thing that the closest I got was my martial instructor was Mike Chat. He was the Blue Ranger of Mike Speed Rescue. So I heard a good amount of Power Rangers talk through him. And then when the audition came around, as soon as I started getting further on in the process, I started studying everything I possibly could. I started watching the more recent seasons. And then especially right whenever I booked the role, I basically watched as much as I possibly could. I think I watched every single pilot episode of all the seasons, starting out. And then our producers said single these shows out because Beast Morphers is going to be kind of modeling the style of these ones. So,
what other shows did they have you watch? Do you remember which ones?
I don't remember which ones they had me watch. I do remember my favorite was RPM.
Nice. That's a really big popular one. Yeah.
I really liked it. It was so much fun. And I was super impressed with the actors too, because some of them are now really major, and I'm like, there you go, that's super cool. So I really liked the cast, and I just liked that show.
Yeah, we've been on our weekly show APlus Morphinominal. We've been talking about it, especially along with Beast Morphers, because they have come out and announced. I think that like James Gallion, who played Colonel Truman from RPM, was coming back. So we already have like a ton of fans that are theorizing like how RPM might even be connected with Beast Morphers in some way. So they're really excited for just the future of what Beast Morphers certainly has. Now, since you did train for your martial arts with the Blue Ranger from Lightspeed Rescue, did Michael give you any tips as far as being a Power Ranger?
Absolutely. It was more of like, this is kind of like what you'll expect, kind of being on the show, behind the scenes advice, just kind of like how to carry yourself through 9 months of shooting. He's given me countless advice for my career, and it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what he said. It's just
most definitely.
all so good, so good.
Well, I find that really interesting though, that you have spent your years doing some action work and stunt work. Almost it seems as though it's gotten you prepared to be a Power Ranger, and I'm sure it really helped out a ton, especially in your auditions and stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, you said that you did go out and actually audition for the Yellow Ranger and Zoe, but ended up actually getting Roxy. What is it about the Roxy character that you love and that you think people are so drawn to?
Oh man, she's so different. I kind of describe her as a snake. You never know what she's up to, and she could just strike at any point. Every single day I went into work, I had no clue what I was going to do. A lot of times when I have characters, I'm very prepared, thought out. I know exactly what I'm going to do in every single moment. I know exactly what they're thinking in every single moment. With her, it was like, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was just so fluid. And I had never encountered a character like that. And I think that's what makes her so fun, was I was having so much fun on the day. Like, ooh, I'm just kind of experimenting as I go. And
So let me ask, does it feel good to be bad? Like, you know, they always say like being the bad person's the best.
Yes, it was so much fun. Me and Colby, we had the best time on set. It was just one of those things where we would be like, devious scheming, scheme. And then like afterwards we're like, this is crazy. What are we doing? So it was, yeah, I wouldn't take back the experience for the world. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I personally really enjoy you as Roxy. There's something about your facial expressions that you're able to pull off. It always does look like you're scheming or up to no good, honestly.
That's so funny. I've been told by some people I've had some interesting facial expressions. I'm like, I don't know, I'm just being me, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's gifs all over the internet right now of like some expressions from you already.
Something, one's with the one eyebrow. I'm like,
oh yeah, it's a classic.
I'm like, what am I doing?
So, what was it like, since you did bring up Blaze, what was it like working with the other actors and things like that? Even though you didn't get the opportunity to be the Yellow Ranger, what was it like working with Jacqueline and the rest of the cast?
Oh my gosh, they're family. I absolutely love each and every single one of them. They are the most fun, craziest bunch in the world. We have a blast every single time we hang out. I really miss them. I haven't seen, I think, most of them since I've been back. And so I'm like, oh, guys, I need to see you. I'm having separation anxiety.
I can imagine. You spent a lot of time with them.
9 months. I spent more time with them than my family for almost a year. And it was weird at first coming back home and just being with my family again. I'm like, oh, this is normal. But at the same time, it wasn't. I'm like, oh, this was my life and now it's my life again. But it's like, it kind of felt like that 9-month period was this huge dream. Kind of look back on, it really happened, because we didn't just like move away from our families. Like, we literally just moved across the world. So it was this huge, complete change. It was wild. It was amazing.
I can't imagine.
It was the craziest thing. For me, it was like I had never gone to college. So it was my college experience, kind of.
Oh, I bet. Overseas college experience. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And speaking of the cast, so in the show, we've got Roxy, who is in a relationship with Ravi. So I'm sure you and Jasmine also had a ton of screen time together. What was that like, just building that relationship between you two, especially in front of the camera sort of thing? And what can we expect from that relationship going forward for this season?
It was really fun. Jazz is a really fun character to work with, just as Ravi and then Jazz himself. And a lot of times whenever we were on screen together, it was like, oh, we're having like really cute moments or really sad moments. And then off screen, he'd be like, bleh! Like all over my face. It was a really natural, fun chemistry we had. And I never knew what he was kind of going to do. So I was always on my toes, which was super exciting. And I love them. They're so cute. Oh,
So we've only seen them briefly in a couple flashbacks and then one or two episodes so far. I mean, we're still pretty young into the season. Will we get to see more of those two characters working off of each other later on in the season?
Can't tell you that. You just have to watch that one. Can't tell you that.
Hey, I had to ask. I had to ask.
Of course. No, I appreciate it. You can ask away. It's just a matter of will I be able to say or not.
Like, your lips are sealed.
Lips are sealed. I will not be pulling Tom Holland. Sorry.
Oh, come on. You're not going to spoil a whole season for us?
Nope. At least I'm not going to try.
So, I will say this. This is probably one of my favorite seasons for sure, but most importantly, one of my favorite casts that we've seen in a really long time. Have they at least talked to you about maybe the opportunity of eventually coming back or maybe reprising your roles somewhere down the line?
I mean, they didn't really say anything to us when we were there. They did say like, oh, it's always a possibility. You never know what could happen in the future. But I think if it was up to all of us, we absolutely would love to. I know I would absolutely love to. I would love to go back to New Zealand, see everybody that we've worked with, be with my cast again, and maybe be with future casts. So I'm absolutely down for it.
Yeah, because I know as fans, I think we fell in love with the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger cast because we had them around for so many years, you know, and we
Right.
saw them grow and get new power updates and things like that. So there's automatically that sort of connection. And I always told myself, and I tell my fans all the time, that if there is one cast that I would love to grow with and see how you guys grow as actors and just your characters in general, it would be you guys. I would honestly love to have you guys back.
Thank you so much. And I think, like I said, we would absolutely love to come back. I mean, I would be totally down to shoot even more and see where the story goes. Absolutely. I guess it's just going to depend on what Hasbro wants to do. And I think they'll make good decisions regardless of what happens. So, yeah.
Now we are the middle of August right now, August 13th. No sign of Beast Morphers anywhere as of right now. Do you
Oh,
know
no.
when the show comes back? Have they told you anything?
I can't say. I can't say.
Okay.
Okay, but I have a good feeling it'll be soon.
I have a feeling too. There are some rumors that are going around right now as to when it might come back. So what
What
I'm
are
he-
the rumors? What are you hearing?
I'm hearing August 24th, which I guess technically would be what, like 2 weeks away or so.
That's a good date.
That's what I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. But anyway, I
I'm
do
so
want to.
ready for it to come back. Honestly, I'm so
Oh,
ready.
trust me, you're not the only one, man. I'm dying here. I'm dying here.
We have not watched it live in the U.S. yet, so we really want to see it.
Oh my. So wait, you haven't watched your show at all since it's aired here?
I have watched it like on recordings and stuff because my
Oh,
family
okay.
will record it and we watched it together, but I haven't seen it like, oh, turn it on Nickelodeon, and like I haven't seen that yet because whenever we were in New Zealand, it's banned there as of currently. I think it's actually
Right.
getting fixed. But so what we'd have to do is we would wake up at 2 a.m., have our parents FaceTime us and show us the screen and we'd watch it.
You
So
gotta
that's
do what
how
you
we
gotta
basically
do.
watched it. I mean, we're like we all woke up and me, Christina, Abraham, we all were rooming together. So we would literally set our alarms at 2 a.m., walk into the kitchen, grab a glass of water, hi guys, and then go back into our rooms and then start watching from our parents' phones. It
Oh
was
my
so fun.
goodness. Because I was going to ask you if you were an early bird, because here it comes on at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays, and I haven't gotten up at 8 o'clock in the morning since I was like 11. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I can be a morning person. I had to be for Rangers. I mean, my average wake up time was 4:30 a.m. to get to
Man.
set. Yeah.
How
But it
long was
so
makeup
funny.
and everything and like getting ready?
For me, I was the longest. So I was like an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh,
Suit
wow.
was faster. That took about 5 minutes for me. Once I got the hang of it, it was like clockwork. But
Oh, nice.
no, I have a lot of hair, so
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
it's
sure that takes
easier.
some time.
But it was so fun because I love sitting in the hair and makeup chair. I don't know why. It's just fun. And we would usually just jam out to music, get some coffees in the morning. It just became this really fun routine. And then when the show ended, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to do my hair again. It was so fun, like just interacting with all the hair and makeup artists, and it was really like a awesome little luxury of not having to just do it every single day.
Was being on the set rather unique in and of itself compared to other sets that you've been on, at least for some of the shorts and some of the other films you've done?
Yes. The monsters, for one, I have not been on a set with a bunch of crazy monsters and guys in pink spandex. It was such a unique experience. It was a lot more relaxed. Like the actual crew and cast, everyone was way more relaxed than a lot of the sets I've been on in the U.S. I don't know if it was a New Zealand cast crew thing or I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just we've been around each other for 9 months, so we're really chill now. also being on a kids show, the material is just really light and easy. I have a horror film coming out this year, and that is the complete opposite of what.
Starlight, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Starlight?
yes.
Tell me a little bit about it, because I did go on IMDb and try and look up some information for it. So for those who aren't aware that you do have a new movie coming out, Starlight, just tell us a little bit about it if you can.
It is so it's a horror produced by the executive producer of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, very nice. Very
So
nice.
it's gonna be interesting. It's about a group of teens who find a celebrity on the side of the road, and she's really beat up, been in a car accident. They take her in to take care of her, and as soon as they do, weird things start happening, and not a good. So it's like, it was definitely my most challenging role so far.
Do you know when it releases?
There's rumors are September for a screening, but I'm not quite sure. I don't want to give false information. I don't know whenever it's going to be publicly released. I've actually have seen the film already. Wow, I'm really proud.
Nice, that's awesome, Liana.
So yeah, I can't wait for people to actually see it, because people, I think right now, they see me more as like a Nickelodeon star, which is super cool, so down for that. But for me, moving on in the future, as much as I love Nickelodeon acting, this is the kind of stuff that I really want to do.
Oh, and yeah, you want to definitely show you have some range, you know?
Exactly. And Nickelodeon is its own talent.
Right.
This is the stuff that, like, I'm super passionate about, and I just want to do more of it. It's so fun.
That's so cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And you also have a book coming out, also, The Secret Within Me, right? Your very first novel of all things.
Very first. I'm actually getting the final revision back tomorrow. And so once I review that, it's then releasing the publishing date. So I can't wait to actually like get it out there. So I can't wait.
That's cool. I'm glad you got a ton of stuff lined up for you. And one thing you might actually have lined up for you, we have to talk about it. Hashtag Liana for Kate Bishop. We have to talk about it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So how did that campaign start? Now, is that something that you woke up to one day and you said, I'm gonna start doing this, or did somebody send you like, hey, you look like Kate Bishop, and it just went from there?
Well, a little bit of both, actually.
Okay.
So I was in Texas at the time, and my dad and we had just watched Captain Marvel. And I was like, dang, Brie Larson, you are a female superhero. I want to be you, dang it.
She took your role. God dang it.
And so I went online and started Googling teenage female superheroes in the MCU. And I'm like, whatever. And I told my friend about it. I was looking for this. And then he came back with Kate Bishop. I'm like, right, okay, yeah, I can totally do that. And so the next day I was feeling inspired, and I have these purple sunglasses that I've had for like 2 years. I'm like, okay, put these on, style my hair like her. I just got inspired, so I'm like, okay, selfie. Took a selfie, posted online, and then I was just kind of got creative on my phone and did the side by side of me and her. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. And I sent it back to her, and like, you need to post that. Like, just post it and see what happens. So I did, and then it started. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to start social media campaigning for this, because one, it's like my biggest dream to be a part of the MCU or any superhero role in general. It's just like what I strive for in life. And it was just becoming really obvious that everyone was wanting this. I'm like, okay, I need to jump on board. And
yeah, I mean, I didn't make the connection until I saw the image. And then once I saw the image, I was like, but of course, like, why didn't we think about this before, kind of thing, you know? So that's pretty fantastic. That's pretty cool. Well, you know, on APlus Morphinominal, we try and push hashtag Liana for Kate Bishop as much as we possibly can, try and continue to give you some support.
Thank you.
The important question, though, is what is your favorite MCU film? Do you have one in particular? Do you have a top 3 at all? Anything that jumps to mind?
My favorite will always and forever be the first Iron Man. I actually rewatched it last week. Just because of everything that's been happening, I just started studying all the MCU films and the acting in it. and just to really pick up on, is there anything specific that they do? And so I'm like, okay, I'm rewatching the whole thing. And so I started, of course, with Iron Man. I'm like, okay, this movie is phenomenal. It is one of my favorite films of all time, and it's hands down my favorite in the MCU. And then the first Avengers has in my heart. I saw that for like my 14th birthday. I drug a bunch of my friends to see it in the theater. I'm pretty sure they were like, "Why are we here?"
Oh no!
I
Did they at least like it though afterwards?
I think they did, but I don't know. I think they were more into like Twilight or something at the time. It was fine. So I love that one, and of course I can't decide if I like Infinity War or Endgame now. Oh my god.
It's a tough one. People get mad at me when I say I like Infinity War just a little bit more. I mean, I take nothing away from Endgame. I loved it, but
but I kind of feel the same way though about Infinity War. I just felt like the impact of the cliffhanger just left me so in my feelings more than it did, even though they're both phenomenal films. And I think just because I had more of an emotional impact from Infinity War, I think I like it better just because of that sole reason.
Well, I know. Well, thank you for letting me not feel alone. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Like, I said that to one of my friends who's like hardcore like Marvel fan. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm sorry. My opinion's valid too.
Yeah, nobody understands my point of view, but it's like, hey, it is what it is. It's all right. So let me ask you. So Power Ranger fans are very much aware of you and know that you're trying to go out for this role. For Marvel fans that aren't aware of some of the stuff that you've done, what is it about you that you personally feel would fit great as far as the Kate Bishop role?
Well, she's kind of an underdog herself. You know, she doesn't have any powers. She kind of gets thrown into it, and she has to prove herself. I'm kind of in the same situation. I don't have a lot of credits. I don't have a lot of followers, but I feel like I have everything that it takes to become this character. And I would put all of my work, soul, effort, everything I am into portraying her and creating her and making her come to life. Like, something that people don't know about me because they don't either live with me or they don't see me behind the scenes is I'm the hardest working person that I know. And I'll do absolutely everything I can to make something great. I mean, I freaking bought all the comic books as soon as this whole thing started.
Yeah, you're definitely doing your homework.
I'm doing everything I possibly can. So if I was given that role, I would be doing that plus way more. And so, yeah, I think we're both underdogs, and I think we both can absolutely do it.
That's pretty cool. I'm glad you broke that down. That definitely gives me some reassurance for sure, and I'm sure other fans as well. It is one of those things where it's like, you know, when I look at you and I see all the stuff that you've been doing some amazing work on Power Rangers Beast Morphers. I mean, you're definitely a standout on the show for sure. I'm really looking forward to seeing the other work that you're capable of. And then on top of that, we do see, especially if we follow you on Twitter and Instagram, just all the physical aspects that you can certainly bring to a role like that. And there's, look, I feel like we've seen tons of movies that have picked relatively unknown actors who do amazing jobs and go on to have incredible careers, sort of thing. So very similar to you in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at Daisy Ridley, the star of Star Wars. She had less credits than me at the time when she booked that. Yeah. And how phenomenal did she do? Oh my God. You know, people are going to watch Star Wars because it's Star Wars. And it doesn't matter if they have a name or somebody who's unknown. Same thing with Marvel. Are you kidding? Their fan base is massive. I think it's going to be the absolute same thing when it comes to Hawkeye.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm ready to see you and Jeremy Renner side by side.
I would love that. I feel like he's so cool, dude. I would absolutely just love to meet him regardless of what happens. He just seems super down to earth and awesome.
Yeah, he truly does. He truly does. So before we wrap this up, Liana, is there anything else that you're currently working on at this particular moment that you're getting ready for?
I think the biggest thing right now is releasing my book, actually. I'm about to really amp things up on social media and all that fun stuff when it comes to releasing it. And that, oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, hey, Liana, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and certainly joining me. For those of you who don't know, Liana also does have her own YouTube channel as well. So definitely go ahead and check it out. And if people want to go ahead and reach you on social media as well, Liana, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Liana K. Ramirez.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you once again, Liana. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. I absolutely enjoyed this.